Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face. Welcome back to another edition of this mobile version of Motorsport Manager. We're back. It's been a few days since I've actually posted a video on this game. Been concentrating on the PC version of the game, the Williams career that we're currently playing. We're just getting through to the end of the Season 2 and into the new Season 3. So if you haven't checked that out, there will be a link in the description below if I actually remember to put it in. As it is, with this game, our drivers are currently 4th best on the grid, which is not too bad here. We're currently second in the championship. The first race of the season of Season 2 in Milan, we finished 5th and 6th, which wasn't too bad for us there. The car is 6th best overall. I think we're building a brakes part, which we are, so we might as well build the other parts as well. So we do what we usually do. Sundgren and Capioli work on the performance, whereas Edwards works on the reliability. $650,000 out of the bank account for that. And we'll also work on a new suspension as well, so we'll do the same for that. We'll get that starting building. The front wing should be ready for the next race. The brakes should be ready by the time the next race starts as well. Just that suspension part won't be ready, so we're going to have 2 new parts going into the car at that point. Meanwhile, the headquarters, I think we're building the design center at the moment, which would allow us to assign a team leader to help, and we've also got the HQ Tour Center building, which gives us $200,000 per race just for that. So we're going to move on now to the free weekend between race weekends, which should see the part builds complete for the front wing and the brakes. So the brakes are 564 and 66%, so 11 and 1% better there. So we're going to swap the parts over here. We're going to keep the best car with Barras because he's the our main source of getting points this season. We'll give him the better brakes just to see how quick he can go. We might switch about the cars a little bit more if Lara's finishing a little bit too low, but that is done there. So if we move on now, we should also have the front wing built as well, which is a 663 and 74, so 16 worse on the performance but a lot better on the reliability here. So it's not that massive of a step forward, but we'll give Lara the better front wing and we'll give Barras the new better front wing, I should say. And there we go, so we've got that unlocked now. So I think that is all. We've got no sponsors going through, nothing to do with the young driver program just yet. So we'll move on to the next weekend and get into the Portuguese Grand Prix here. So hopefully we're going to do pretty decent with the mini game here and to get a decent setup in qualifying. So I'm hoping we're going to finish 2nd or above, which is why we give Barras the better parts. So if he can get 2nd or above, then we're making more money. Then we can build more parts. We can upgrade the HQ a lot sooner than we could do otherwise, and just all around chase the things we need to do as we get into the Portuguese Grand Prix here. So if we get in and just skip over the mails, we'll start qualifying. Hopefully we're going to pick up that $440,000 here with Barras. I don't know whether he's going to be quick enough though. And should we risk this one? We'll risk it right at the start. 15. We bust with Lara straight out of the gate. Try to play it a little bit risky. Doesn't work out for us, so we've failed her the first time around. We'll try it risky here, and it works out for Michael Barras. We'll play it safe from there. We've already got the 0.1 second, the 1/10 up. Don't be a 5. There we go. And 0 to 4. We've only 2 left. We'll keep it at that. Hopefully that is a pretty decent setup to start at the moment. And as we come out of the pits, just zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully we're going to be pretty quick around this track and we can pick up that little bit of extra bonus money that we can get, the $440,000. So here we go, starting the first qualifying lap. Barras is coming across. We're not the quickest on track at the moment, but hopefully we're quick enough for sort of top 2. It doesn't look like we might not be quick enough for that. Barras goes 2nd, Lara 4th, and we're dropping down the order a little bit. We're 8 tenths behind the leader, 6 tenths behind 2nd place, so it doesn't look like we're going to pick up 2nd in qualifying here. That's a massive gap to overcome, but we're going to get both cars straight back out. Hopefully we can make an improvement. Should we go risky? It's got to work out one time. Don't. Yes, it actually works out that time. So what we lost on the first setup, we managed to pick up on that one, and we'll keep it simple from here. We'll go with the 0-2 to tweak the brakes, and I don't even want to risk that 16%. No, we'll keep Lara as that. I'm not going to risk it. We're not going to risk her busting once again, and we'll get Barras straight out as well. You can use that 1 to 10, it only takes 2, which is pretty decent. 3 to 8 to get another 13%, uses 7, which means we can go for this one, and we will get the half a second quicker on the setup. So hopefully we're going to be a little bit quicker with from Barras on this second lap. So here we go with the second qualifying lap. Lara's across the line, Barras starting his lap as well. Is Barras going to improve enough? I don't think we've got the pace in this car to get that second place. But Lara, meanwhile, currently 7th. She should be able to go a little bit quicker. She goes, no, she doesn't improve. Barras improves, but he's still so far behind the leader. Look at that, second down on the leader. But we've improved the gap to Masilera. I think that is in second place. So we're going to get one more setup done here. I don't think we're going to get time for another lap, but we do get time for a setup. And we'll keep it simple. We'll go with that, and then that. We've managed to get the quarter of a second quicker. We're not going to get the half a second quicker for Lara. Are there any improvements we can make on Barras before the race starts? We're not going to get a lap done with this setup, but if we can improve, can we? Should we risk this one? Oh, no. We tried to risk it. I'm just not going to bother risking it in future. Risked it twice there and it didn't pay off either time for us, but qualifying is going to end before we can put in another qualifying lap here. So we're going to keep the 3rd place and the 7th from Lara. Lara's almost a second back from her teammate, but obviously Barras does have a better car because we're chasing that 2nd place during the race. If we can get that, that is going to allow us to get that $440,000. If we can't, we might have to take a step back. We should have maybe been building another new part as well, but we can build one in the interim. We'll get building another front wing and brakes build as well after this race, just so then when we go forward we're going to just keep upgrading this car as much as we can. And here we go. We could have had another 2 new front wings done before the next race if we'd have actually gone ahead and done that, but didn't think about it. But anyway, we're 3rd behind the Zampellis. The Zampellis really strong in this series. I don't think we've got any real chance of catching them. It's just a 17 lap race here. We can only do 3 laps on that soft tyre. That is crazy. Should we go for the mediums and try and one-stop this race? Or is the pace on the mediums going to be a lot slower? We'll just change here. 7, 16. It's going to be pretty touch and go as well with the mediums. We'll go. We'll just go with what the Zampellis should be doing. We'll go for the 2-stop. Maybe we'll just switch things up with Lara. We'll go hard and hard with her. Maybe try 1-stop. But as it is, we don't have any room for pushing the tyres with Barras here in the early going. So that's what we're going to have to do. I don't even think I picked a mechanic bonus, and I think I forgot to do that as well. But anyway, let's get this race started. 17 laps here to go in Portugal. Barras looks to have made a decent start. He's challenging for a second. He's managed to get second here. Oh, what happened to Barras? Did he run wide? He ended up right at the back. And we're just going to have to recover here. We can't keep pushing the fuel like this. What do we recover? 0.59. Is Barras better on the fuel? I'm guessing that's just because we selected the mechanic bonus, the one that we can get. So Barras he's moved himself back up pretty quickly here. He's back up alongside Lara, who's fallen down the order as well. So Lara's down here, Barras is down. Not the best start. Gulo sets the quickest lap of the race, and we're going to have to recover here with the fuel. Barras, meanwhile, and he's just complaining. Lara is behind her, or behind him even. And we're just hanging on to these tyres in the early going here. What are we using in neutral? 18% per lap. So we're not even going to get... This is going to be the last lap that we can pretty much do here. So we might as well push. Even that's going to be pretty touch and go to do another lap like this. So we're going to have to line up the pit stop this time around. If we go for that hard tyre, we would have to run it in conserve mode a lot. But we could maybe stretch it to the end of the race. There's no point fixing the car at the moment. So we can just sort of push a little bit to get into the pits. What's Barras complaining about? What happened to his tyres? I don't know. He's complaining about having 50p pieces for tyres. But anyway, he's lined up for this pit stop. We're just going to have to go back here, are we? Back into neutral. Is it 10% the tyres can get down? I can't even remember. It's been a while since I've actually played this game. Where do we go? But we're into the pits a little bit early here. And a decent-ish pit stop. They're never the quickest here, but we just have to conserve here. 10 laps would see 90% of this tyre go. So we need to conserve if we want to see this tyre through to the end of the race. Meanwhile, Lara can just trundle along in neutral here. She's doing pretty well. Well, she's not doing pretty well. She's 10th at the moment. Not the best start from her. She started 7th. She's 10th, but we're going to move up a few places, although a couple of cars managed to get back out of the pits in front of her as well, and we're going to have to go some way to recovering the fuel, because even in medium mode she spends fuel. Barras, meanwhile, in medium mode doesn't spend fuel, so that's not too bad. But can we get anywhere close to recovering with either of our cars? Not the best of races here as we approach the halfway point in this Grand Prix. Lara currently 9th place. Should we get pushing with her? What do we need for this hard tyre that she's going to go onto? No, we want to get her onto the medium, don't we? At least. So if we get her in around about lap 10, she should be able to go to the end of the race pretty much just in neutral from that point forward. So we've got 28% before this tyre wears out, so we'll keep it in neutral, and then we possibly have 2 laps of attacking, and then we can get on to the medium tyre to finish the race on. Meanwhile, Barras, he's got 70% left in this tyre. We're just going to keep him going in, because no, we'll get him back into neutral for a tiny little bit, try and speed him up a little bit to catch the back of the pack. So it looks like he's going to be able to get past Lara here. Lara has now got 21% left, so we'll run it in neutral a little bit longer, and we should be able to get her in overtake mode to finish off here. She's done a good job recovering the fuel as well, so we can get her pushing into the pits now. So she should be able to get this gap opened up a little bit more, and if she comes around, yeah, she's just got about enough in this tyre to get around to the 10%. So she's going to switch to the medium, and we don't need to fix the car here, so just have to watch the fuel here, because we don't want it to run too low. My tyres are looking seriously worn, yes, we know that. So you're going to have to go back into medium for a little bit, and then go back into low towards the end of the race to recover what you spend just running in medium here. And as she comes into the pits, we'll switch her back to neutral, because we need her in that to get her to the end of the race. Is Barras going to be able to get past her here? Barras, on this warm pair of hard tyres, moves himself back up into the points. He's running, he's trying to recover his fuel as well. We're going to have to run low mode at some point with him. Lara, meanwhile, what would she use? 10% per lap almost, so she can just do it running in neutral to the end of the race. She does have to go in low mode at some point, whereas Barras at 51% on his tyres. We're going to see a couple of other cars pit, so Barras is going to be able to move back up the order, sort of recover a little bit from his really bad start that he had, but there's not much room to push in this tyre. We've got 33%, running 9% at the moment for 4 laps. It's going to be a little bit touch and go, so let's run in conserve mode for a little bit here. It's possibly going to let Kotka through, but not much we can do about it. We need to recover the fuel as well, because we tried to burn a lot in the first few laps to try and get him back up the order. Lara, meanwhile, is right on the back of Kotka, which is possibly helping Barras here. And yeah, so we're just coming around. Giulio still leading those. The other Zampelli of Massilia has dropped all the way down to 6. We've got 3 laps remaining. We've got 20% of this tyre to do. 21% to 9.18. We're going to have to run in conserve mode for quite a little bit here, and we'll try recover the fuel early with both of our cars, because that's something we need to do. Although in this game you can just let it run, and if you're out of fuel it will just recover that fuel anyway at the end of the Grand Prix, so you might as well do that to try and stay ahead. Lara, meanwhile, we're coming up to 2 laps remaining. She's got 40% of this tyre, so she can get to attacking now as well, which is possibly going to allow her to pass Barras if she can get. Barras has dropped down behind Varnaden as well at the moment, and there goes Lara. She moves up into 9th place. The condition of the car's running out for Barras as well. We've got about a lap to go. What do we use? We can't switch into. We could switch back to neutral maybe, but if we hold on to this tyre we might have room to attack over the last lap. 10% of this tyre, might as well attack. We might as well try something here. We've got to try something because he's outside the points. Back up into 10th. The tyre's possibly going to go. Should we switch back into neutral so we don't lose this 10th place? We're never going to get that 9th place. And we come across the line 7th and 10th. So not the best of races here in the second race in the second season. A bad start from Barras put him back in the order after qualifying 3rd on the grid. Not the greatest of Grand Prix, and it's going to be really hard to catch that Zampelli team. that are currently winning the championship. So there we go with the points. I forgot it's points for every driver in this series. So Barras picks up 11, Lara picks up 14. We're currently third in the constructors, whilst over on the driver side of things, Lara is ahead of Barras here, 29 points to 27, which is not bad from her at all. We're hoping that Michael Barras can recover after the race today. He's currently unhappy now. He's got a few driver points. Lara has improved as well. She's almost at 2 points there. So who we're going to focus on here? Katya has had a spiffing hunt. There's nothing more thrilling than killing a helpless animal. Right then, that's nice. We're a prog rock outfit called the Purple Sector, says Marilia Diaz, and Zanelli has been hitting the gym, so we're going to give her the focus since she's been hitting the gym. And there we go. We get not much money coming into the team at the moment because we failed our bonus objective of finish second or above. Hopefully, if we get a new front wing built and another brakes built, we might be able to focus on that. So there we go. We've got the suspension built now as well. So once again, I think we're going to give it to Barras. We're going to switch this one over to Lara. Swap that over to Lara, the 504 one. 545 for Barras since he's the one. Although, has his driver rating dropped? I thought it was 3-star. I'm guessing that's because he's unhappy at the moment, which is going to put us in a position now. But we've got a HQ upgrade complete. We've got that $200,000 extra per race coming into the team, which is going to go a long way. What can we do? We can aerodynamic bonus to both cars with that. Logistics HQ. We're just going to leave off the HQ at the moment. We're going to focus on the car. So we're going to build everything here the same way that we built everything. So we'll get a front wing built, which should be ready before the next race. We're also going to get a new suspension built and follow the same as we always do. Get that built, and then we'll work on the brakes as well. The brakes take a week as well, so if we get this built as well, we should have, well, at least we're going to have 2 upgraded parts before the next race. Of suspension will be ready for the race after the next one, and we'll get working on the front wing build, another one after that as well. So if we just move back here, we've got a contract expiring soon on the staff. Which staff is that? That is Wainscoat, so we'll just renew her contract. Don't really want to swap anyone at the moment, and then we'll just finish off by spending the points on the driver. His consistency, I'm guessing we work on his consistency there because he was pretty poor at the start of that race. And Enrique Lara, she's pretty good for smoothness. The starts are alright. It's just this first little bit of an area that we want to work on, to work on these braking consistent cornering one by one. So as we do that, we're 9th and 11th on the grid as in terms of car. But that is it for this episode of this mobile version of Motorsport Manager. Not the best of races there, but we've improved the car overall to 5th now, so we should be a little bit more improved. Barras, though, is currently unhappy at the moment. He's unhappy with the team at the moment for some reason, but we'll have to sort that out in the next episode. But until then, I'll see you down the road for the British Grand Prix, and goodbye.